Good morning, everybody. Morning to all of you. Thanks for joining me here this morning. This is the Quick Trade Trading Room session. Good to be with you. I hope everybody is all right. We're starting off really nice and strong this morning. A couple of reminders to all the guys on YouTube as well that will be joining in later on. Remember, QT is a licensed FSP 45262, and we are a licensed over-the-counter derivatives provider. I'm a registered rep with the FSCA there under supervision. It's part of the FASE Act, part of the fit and proper requirements for you to offer any form of advice. You must be fit and proper with the FSCA because the financial services industry, ladies and gentlemen, I said to you, is built on various pillars. One of them is trust. And once you have gone through certain fit and proper requirements, that obviously then gives you some trust in the industry. And so then we want to make sure that we mention that because we are doing something very, very important here, and that is assisting people with their finances. And so assisting someone with that, you do need a bit of trust for people to listen to you. Cut-off for withdrawals, Mondays to Fridays is at 1500 hours, and Saturdays, don't forget, 9 a.m. are the times you are able to withdraw. And then lastly, on this slide here, the trading support department, is the one that is facilitating the trading room. And so it's one platform, trading platform, not a teaching platform. And that's important for you to remember. And then lastly here, we have these phases. Guys, I cannot tell you, and I'll stress that today for a specific reason. Please be very, very careful how you identify the movement of the markets. Just remember that this markets that we are trading is an extension of something larger. And for us to have any form of success in it, we must undergo a very, very interesting journey, and that you got to push yourself to a specific level. All right. If you're not pushing yourself, all right, the unfortunate part is things do not come easy. All right. So if you're ready, I'm ready. I want to get going. Let me see who's all here. Are you guys having a good morning, by the way? Let me just know. Are you guys having a good morning? Yes or no? Yes or no? Are you having a good morning? I'm having a very, very good morning, nostalgic, excited, a bit of a mixed one there, but very, very good. All right, very good. I'm ready to go. We did such a powerful session yesterday, such a powerful session. And we chatted so much about fundamentals, and we went to the dollar index, and for the past few months, and we've been really, really busy with putting down a lot of trenches, cementing a lot of technique in the way we approach. Are we together? Everybody with me? We've been, empowering people to really think a little bit differently in a more detailed sense as it relates to their trading. And so we want to try and finish off very, very strong. All right, very, very strong. So let's go, guys. We saw the dollar index retreat a little bit from its high yesterday. You guys know that there was some COVID concerns in China that obviously brought a bit of movement away from China, or at least, from the dollar being a safe haven currency. People started pushing funds into the greenback. And this was about concerns of COVID rising in China. That was what a few articles have said that I have read. But what we also do understand is that China is a very big trader around the world in different industry sectors. US is one of them that is trading with them. They're really doing big moves, and it's come over the past 50 years. We've seen a dramatic shift in how that specific model has moved. And the past 5 to 7 years, maybe 10 max, we've seen an exponential growth in that specific model. So with that being said, there's a lot of trading happening because there's more capacity. And whenever there's more capacity in a system, that allows more to be done. And they get on the radar, they put on the radar, and you're reading a lot about them on the headlines. Now, guys, In as much as we are in a trading room and we're here to look at opportunities, please understand that if the competency factor is not there, it doesn't matter what kind of practicality you put in. All right, you can put whatever strategy in, whatever method in, whatever approach, it doesn't matter. If you do not understand, all right, the movement of the markets, the structure, the cycles, etc., it really doesn't matter. All right, because if you're in the markets only to make money, that is a very surface level as to why you want to make money. Just because you can make money in the markets, all right, and now you're in it and you're paying big money to be in it. It's a very surface reason. Are we together, everybody? There has to be something deeper, because if there isn't anything deeper, it means that your competency won't go deeper anyway. Does that make sense? There must be something to push you, motivate you in a deeper way to become more obsessive in terms of knowledge. Is everybody clear? But if there's no deeper reason, it will just stay on surface level. And that's very, very, very important for you to know. And you'll know why. You'll know why. You'll know why. So we see the dollar retreating. What's going to be very key here is for us to pay attention to what I said to you yesterday. All right, I'm going to switch back over to my daily frame. All right, I'm going to switch, and I've just done that. And let me just contract this chart here. And I made a specific comment, and I said to you guys, if we are to retrace or pull back from this big drop here, I have a 109 area that I've actually put in place for that drop. But what's going to be key is look at this area here, this little wick here. That is a very important area, and I'm repeating what I said, just so you guys know that repetition is one of the most consistent things in lecturing and teaching people. And I'm going to say this very explicitly. All right, Mr. H, listen to this: mind control. All right, to get anyone to listen to something, to get anyone to behave in a certain way, to get anyone to subscribe to a certain idealistic movement or whatever, or industry, there must be repetition. Is everybody with me? Let's go and make it more personal. Even with your kids, you repeat certain things. Why? Because you want them to model a certain way. Whether that be good or bad, we're not here to debate the specifics around that. The concept of repetition is powerful. Is everybody with me? So I'm repeating this once again to say that when you get a wick like that I've just pointed out, and it translates through all the time frames, which I explained yesterday, the probability of it being fundamentally driven is higher. I'll say that again. When the wick that you see now on the daily frame translates through all time frames, that being from momentum all the way to the minute world, the probability is higher that it is fundamentally driven, because fundamentals, it skips time. All right, it takes time out of the equation. All right, everybody, data is formed over time. Details, information, the bars over time. And I said this to you yesterday. And the reason why I'm repeating this, and it's for a very good reason, you'll find out later. 1 minute passes, all right, everybody? Well, everybody, then that 1 minute has created a candle. If 5 minutes passes, one candle. 15 minutes, that specific candle forms. But when fundamentals comes in, it supersedes that. It cheats the time, and it creates crazy movement. Is everybody clear? There's guys on here that wasn't with me yesterday, and I'm glad I'm saying it again. All right. When fundamentals comes in, you normally see a whipsaw, you see a very big wick to the upside, and then it goes down again. That is fundamentals that's cheating time. Are we together? So you must learn to identify where it cheated, where the volumes, the funds, the demand of buyers and sellers cheated that 15 minutes. I'm going to say this to you very boldly, Amika. Listen to this, Cheryl. Most of the time, please don't get involved in that exponential move there, because that turns on you more than what the systematic move does. Is everybody clear? When something moves systematically, it's easier to predict in probability. But when something skips time like that, you are taking a higher risk with your positions. Is everybody clear? Guys, we're starting off very strong. I hope you're making notes. All right. It's very, very important that you make notes here. All right. There's reasons for why I'm saying all these things. So we see that specific wick there. But when you go to the 1 hour chart here, look at the systematic movement. Can you see this? So there's no wick that you can pick up now necessarily that's as strong as the one on the daily. Everybody clear? If you go to the 15 minutes now, watch the 15 minutes. Watch the 15 minutes. You're not seeing that strong wick there. So this is where the wick should be. I'm just zooming in. Hold on. There's more candles there. Can you see that, Cheryl? Can you see this specific candle there? So on the daily frame, you're not seeing all of this information here. If this was on a 15-minute, if you saw a wick like that, Cheryl, that would tell you now it's translated from momentum all the way to 50, which tells you it was heavily influenced by fundamentals. So that is identifying it. This is systematic movement. This was systematic movement. Is everybody clear? Which tells you the following. Now, I want you now to get the crux of unfinished business, share. Felix, unfinished business, my friend. Uncle Philip, unfinished business. When something moves systematically, that wick that you see on the daily can be balanced now, because it means the systematic movement is not necessarily done. Is everybody clear? Look at the systematic movement here. So which means this area that I am using or hovering over, when I go to my daily frame, that is a sign that the systematic movement might not be over, that we're just retracing, pulling back for us to come back down again. Is everybody clear with this, guys? Now remember, there are different reasons, fundamentally speaking, why we could see an upside movement or a further movement up. Interest rates, the policy rate is go between 5 and 7%. Is everybody clear there? Balancing of the books, but we got to bring in those details that helps us. So the 5 to 7% policy rate there, to get to that rate by mid-December or maybe even earlier, depending on what these inflationary results give us now on Wednesday, we could see 50 basis points, 0.5% being raised now. Next year, 25 basis points consecutively in a quarterly fashion being implemented to raise the rates or the policy rate. That could give the dollar the strength that it needs. But you guys have been with me before. You have seen when interest rates goes up, it doesn't mean it's going to go up. Is everybody clear? It doesn't mean the dollar will strengthen. So we park it there. We park it here now. Is everybody clear? Remember, we follow. So even South Africa, we follow global powers because we are trading with them. We are trading with them. Is everybody clear? So if they go up and we don't go up, we pay more. So we have to go so we can cover our margins. Is everybody clear? That is logical. Is everybody clear there? They go up because we buy from them. As an example, we have many resources where we can do it ourselves. Yes, Mr. H, we do have in instances, in SA. All right, guys, we do have the resource to do what we need to do, but we outsource it. So if we're going to outsource it, the principle applies. When they go up, we got to go up. Otherwise, we won't be able to afford it. We have a weaker currency. And so if we don't do it, we don't have cash to provide what we need. Everybody clear? That's just generally principle. All right, to the point. So we wait for it. I'm going to leave it on an hour frame because we want to track the entire movement of the day. We reached the high yesterday. It's retreating. We're going to wait and see what happens here now. All right, everybody clear? Can I please just give everybody 14 seconds, and then we're going to push on from there. I'm seeing there is a gap. Yes, I see it there, Mr. H. So we could just go and cover the gap, and we could come down. I saw that one. Okay. All right. So so it hasn't covered 100% yet. Are we together? Now, Mr. H, let me just show this to you. Let me shock you with this. Do you see this wick here? That wick. Do you see that wick? That wick and this one here, as well as this one more so, this one is right there. So even if prices touches that specific, it's also covered because in that wick, there's a shorter time frame candle that has actually gone to that zone. So even if it just comes up until here, it's fine. It's covered. Everybody clear? So that's the detail that we're looking at. All right. So let's leave it there. We're going to push on now. We're going to push on. We're going to push on. Let's go to MT5. All right. So where's all my guys for the NASDAQ? Where's all my guys for the NASDAQ? If you're brand new here this morning, it is an absolute pleasure and honor to. And if you don't mind, if you are not shy, please let me know so that we can officially welcome you. All of us. All right. So here we go. NASDAQ, ladies and gentlemen, we had a very interesting run with the NASDAQ. All right. We had a 11530 zone as the more conservative area to enter there as an entry, and to have the TP at 11253. Now, this is what is currently, you can clearly see that the first entry is working out. That's the slightly more aggressive entry. Can you guys see that? Slightly more aggressive, a little bit higher. But I did say to you yesterday, Mika, you would remember you in both sessions as well. I said, just because someone enters at a higher price does not mean that they're going to be making more money than you, because you can use far more volumes at a lower place and still make 10 times more. Does that make sense? So there's people that have different preference levels, and some want to get in before for their own reasons. We're not here to debate the specifics. 8 billion people in the world. We are 60 million in South Africa. All right. And at this point, we are 72 in the trading room. So there's no ways we'll be able to measure everybody's preference here. But we will keep it general and say that if you choose to go to a higher place, that is your preference. Are we together? It makes no difference to the one that wants to get in at the lower area. The one that's going to get in at a lower area is obviously looking at the probability levels to be in his or her favor, all right, for direction to prevail. I think that's where we hit the center, the nail on the head. The guys that are willing to get into a lower price below a specific major point or to get a lower low wants to get in to a more accurate degree, the direction. They want to get the momentum right. They want the follow through. Yes, they want the follow through. Is everybody with me? So the follow through zone here as a lower low will be below 11530. That is not, I'm not going to use the word confirmation, Gabriel, Pietro, Anton, Tebo, Jaden, Philip, Robert, Fani, Clinton, Mika. I'm not going to use confirmation here in its a term that people normally see it as it's guaranteed. All right, everybody. I'm going to use it as inverted commas and say that to them, a lower low is the confirmation, right? That the momentum is continuing now to go to the downside. That's it. It's in connection with the trend. It's in connection with the trend. So 11530 is still open to the guys that want to get in there. Is everybody clear? But this is the problem, because now the dollar has been doing something negative. Look at the dollar here. Has been doing something negative in terms of correlation with the NASDAQ and the gold. Everybody with me there? So if the dollar is coming down here today, what do you think is going to happen with gold? Let's go there. Let's go there. Gold should be then moving up here if the correlation is still in place. Look at that. There we go. Now, guys, I'm saying this to you with a lot of confidence. All right. These correlation patterns, or these patterns that you see, that up and down, all right, most of the time, they are correct. Does that make sense, everybody? I'm not going to give you a percentage ratio to be specific. It can change. But when I say most of the time, just think of more than 50%, 60%, 65%, 70% of the time, the correlation patterns or the correlated patterns do pan out. All right. And the other reason why I'm saying they do pan out is because look what's happened in the past. Many people have gotten rich. I'm not going to use the term wealthy there. That's a different discussion. Many people have gotten rich in money, not finance. Finance is a whole different world. All right. Money is an extract we're pulling from finance. Is everybody with me? So people have gotten rich in finance. Let's be a bit more ancient, in gold and in silver. All right. So they've gotten rich in gold and in silver. They've gotten rich in fiat currency by following the patterns. Is everybody with me? 70% of the time, you're going to find these patterns correlate, but there are moments which you've experienced with me in here where the patterns are not moving. At this point in time, they are. They are now 70%. They are there. Everybody clear here, guys? Gomelemo, that's one factor. That's one factor, because if you say it's always going to go with volatility, it means that all money must be at the same place at the same time all the time. But volatility can be distributed, all right, into different areas. All right. If you had 100,000 Rand and you're distributing that 100,000 Rand into different areas, some areas are not going to have the same amount, not equally, because perception is not equal. So you can't go and take 100,000 and distribute it 4 ways, 25, 25, 25, 25. Then it means all perception, they must be equal, Mr. H. Is everybody with me? But because the markets are fluctuating all the time, I hope you guys are with me this morning. Clinton, they don't know. So, all right, guys, there's a reason for everything that I'm saying here this morning. All right, guys. So if you get 100,000 and you distribute it, 10 will be there, 20 will be here, 5 will be there, 15 there. So it's different distributes or different ways it's being distributed. Well, all right, everybody. So which means it's not only volatility. It depends on the perception of the buyer and seller at that time. Is everybody clear with that? All right. All right. So the risk and reward for this, remember this, Mr. H, we're still on a short here. So if you're asking for risk and reward, are you changing your stance now? All right, because we're still in a short here. Is everybody with me? Let me just make sure. Let me just make sure here. So if you're changing your stance and you want to buy, look, my question is, why do you want to buy? Look at the daily frame. We close beneath. So if you are going to buy, all right, if you are going to buy, let's just say you want to buy, and you will buy it from there to there, that's 113 pips. But the question is, will it reach that area? What if the dollar turns? What if the dollar turns? Is everybody with me here? All right, so let's just wait with the gold. We can do another risk and reward, not a problem. I want to finish off with these indices. NASDAQ, we're waiting for 11530. S&P 500, it's still at that zone that I mentioned to you guys yesterday. We in yesterday's, look, this was yesterday's movement. All of this here, this was yesterday's accumulation. We are still trapped in there. All right, I'll look at comments now, ladies and gentlemen. I'm seeing some faces come through. I'll look at comments now, all right? Is everybody clear? Look at this. Yesterday's accumulation. So let's look at Dow Jones. Same story. Yesterday's accumulation. Here's the question. Are you guys getting into this? This was yesterday's accumulation. Are you getting into this? All right. I'm seeing I got out with some profit. Any, I'm still on the short for gold and silver. All right, let's give everybody around. It's Mika. That's Mr. H. Anyone else? Let's give them a round of applause. Let's give Mika and Mr. H a round. Anyone else that got out with some profits yesterday? Guys, we had quite a few profits also yesterday in the trading room whilst we were busy. Yeah, beautiful. Platinum Meet the TP, beautiful. All right. There we go. Angel as well. Nicely done. So we done NASDAQ, S&P, Dow Jones. We wait. Now I'm going to go and Mika, you took that trade yesterday. Was it Brent or the WTI, Mika? You were the one that was strong enough. Now remember those zones that I gave you guys. I said to you, watch out. Watch out. Look at Brent. Look at that rejection at those zones that we spoke about. This was yesterday. Look at yesterday. Look at that. At that area, look at the rejection. What did I tell you about the blocks? What did I tell you about those specific challenges here? I said to you, be careful with these blocks here. It rejected right there and then went up again. Now, where are we trying to go to? 77. And I gave you a detailed answer, or at least entry, and said, guys, the ideal zone, probability much higher would be beneath 82.34. But here was the whole problem with that. You're getting less pips. But then again, is less pips a problem, Cheryl? Is less pips a problem? I'm asking the question. I want to know by the guys. This is brilliant to ask, because less pips is not a problem. You can just put a bit more volumes in there. Does that make sense? But remember, I said there has to be that balance. There's a price to pay. So if you're going in at a lower entry, there's a price to pay. Your risk, you're going to have to increase a little bit now to make some money there. But the probability on the other spectrum is that it's higher that it could go in your direction. So it rejected right there. That is Brent. Now look at WTI. Look at the daily here. Same story. Rejected at that zone, that specific block. Now remember, Mika, what's important about this is that the momentum time frames are key here. If a daily closed beneath here, I can give you 80% ratio that we would have gone further down here, because the momentum time frame closed beneath the block. All right, everybody, is everybody clear with that? When the momentum time frames close beneath certain zones, the probability is automatically higher without a question. But when it is the hourly world or the minute world that closes beneath only, the risk is higher without a question. Is everybody clear there? Very important point, ladies and gentlemen, all right? So you can see we've rejected there. 67 still stands. Now, this is the great thing about this, Mika. Remember you took the short here? It still stands here. It doesn't mean that we are done with this specific trade. Sometimes you get kicked out, but then it's just the setup to come back. Is everybody with me there? So now you got to determine, all right, if I go to a 12-hour as an example now. Now, can you see this area here? We need a daily candle to be closing beneath this specific area here. If we get a daily beneath there, the momentum is coming down. All right, then the momentum comes down. Look at that. We need a daily. So if I had to draw it for you, if we can get this today, this is brilliant. This is brilliant. Do you see that? But obviously we need the other guys to be working with us. All right. Can I say something very interesting here? Whether we like it or not, the market works like a team in its own strange way, because everything will not go up at the same time. Everything will not go down at the same time unless there's a crash, unless there's a malfunction. Is everybody with me here? Just like a team in a business. Sometimes HR needs to function. Sometimes marketing needs to function. Sometimes another IT needs to function. So there's different times when these things are moving up. You just got to look at what department is functioning. Is it indices? Is it commodities? Are we together? Is it currency pairs? Who's functioning right now? Got to ask yourself. All right. Keokhele, I hope I got that name pronounced correctly. Welcome to the trading room. Guys, let's just give a round of applause to Keokhele. All right. Hope I got that right. Hope I got that right. Brent, WTI, let's just wait on it a little bit. All right, let's go to gold. Gold we saw from an hourly perspective. This was gold's movement yesterday. We're still beneath that trend line, guys. So the same TP applies, Mr. H, 1,700. Same TP applies, right? If we did a risk and reward on this guy for a second time now. Now, I want you to be careful of this, Mr. H. Remember what happened with the one currency pair of last week, where it went up to the high and then it didn't come, back to the high the next day. All right. So be careful with that same pattern now. We don't want to get into that. All right. So be careful. If you go in now, which I would recommend, just wait. Let us push beneath yesterday's low there. If we push below yesterday's low, that's a better time for us to enter. Is everybody clear? It's a better time, yesterday's low, because then it creates a lower low. Probability is automatically higher for the short to continue. Is everybody with me, you guys? Everybody with me, you guys? But if you got in now and you're willing to take the guys as a representative, I'm saying to you that this is my recommendation, but you still have the freedom to say, Ash, I couldn't care who to buy what you're recommending. I'm going in now. It's your freedom of choice to do that. It's your money. It's your money. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. Are we together? The same way, I'm not going to tell you what dishwasher to buy, Ariel or Sunshine, whatever, Sunlight, whatever. I'm not going to tell you where to get in and get out. I can recommend Ariel to you. Guys, I've had this obsession, Mr. H, with cleaning detergents. My wife says it's abnormal. Whenever I go into a store, I'm always looking at what detergents are working. I'm looking, what kg is there and so forth, and just options. She doesn't understand the concept why I'm doing it. All right, it's like the training kicks in there. I'm telling you, it's the dishwasher. All right, and I like Ariel. I really like Ariel, guys. So I can talk Ariel. All right, but guys, you're gonna still have to decide. So, Ash, I hear you. I like the packaging. It's nice. It looks quality. It's white and green and some red in there. But sorry, I'm going for my sunflower or whatever. Sunlight, not sunflower. It's the ladies normally. I'm very hands-on with that, Cheryl. Very hands-on with with all groceries. I'm telling you, Mika, I'm right there. I'm watching. What do you man? Rather get that. Very hands-on, yeah. So let's wait for it, guys. But if you get in now, here's your levels: 1-to-2 ratio. All right. TP stays the same, 1700. Stop 63. 1763. 1763. That's the stop loss. She says, nobody, love country, you just go and get this stuff, because whenever you work, you're always changing the whole thing around. My 10-year-old daughter, Clinton, she says to me, Dad, when you come, the trolley's full, you're just taking. I don't know why my wife is very specific. She'll say, no, we need this, so we'll get that. We don't need this. I just go and let's take 3 of them, and then we there the next 3 months, yeah. So my daughter wants to go with me, Mika, because she knows she's gonna have a few. My wife is more strict, yeah, with those kind of stuff. All right, so we're gonna wait on this one. Is there anyone that's interested though to get in? If you are, let me know. If you're interested to get in, just quickly say yes. I'll give you a couple of seconds there. All right, and then we can then move on. I love how we are moving. So nice and smooth, guys. So nice and smooth here this morning. Loving it. All right. I'm seeing no's. Hey, Namfanello. I don't know. Maybe the other ladies can confirm if that is a truth in the world. I don't know. All right. Let's move on then, guys. Let's move on. USD JPY. We did very well. Yesterday. Yes. Very close to the 142, Mr. H. Isn't that beautiful? Very close to it. And was this not the zone we said we want to actually take it to? Yes. All right. 140. Now, guys, make a note of this. 142.294. If a daily candle breaks above that zone, guess what? Momentum is pushing up. There's a trade available to exit at 145. Write that down for me. We do not have the momentum up there yet. If a daily candle closes above 142, we're seeing a repeated cycle. We take it to 145. Write that down for me, 145.23. This will obviously also be based on dollar strength. Dollar strength is not there. We're not going to see it. We're not going to see it happen. I'll give everybody a couple of seconds. Did you write it down, guys? I want to make sure everybody's tracking with me here this morning. I don't want to leave anyone behind here. All right. So 142.294, daily candle above, take it to 145.230. Excuse me, here's an earlier entry, 12-hour time frame. If a 12-hour time frame closes above at 12 p.m., that's an entry. The risk will be higher. Is everybody clear though? The risk will be higher because we have another 12 hours to go. You can take the chance if you'd like. A more concrete entry is the daily, but you can take a shorter time frame entry. That will be at 12 p.m. That is about 2 hours away. You are able to. But remember, the risk will be higher. All right, let's move on. GBP USD, daily frame. Look where we are. 1 hour time frame. We are just above yesterday. Look at that. Above yesterday's break. So we broke down. You can see it. Guys, is there load shedding? Okay, I don't have my load shedding yet because I'm seeing a lot of guys, they're up and down. Yesterday's price. Are we together? There's Friday, there's last week Friday, last week Thursday. We are still within that zone there. It's all over, right? But I mean at this particular time now. At this particular time, we are in between this area here, guys. All right, everybody with me? We are in between here. Now, if you go to a daily, that's where we are. That's the median between that specific accumulation here. That's the median, the average movement between the high and the low. Is everybody with me here, guys? So we needed to either move far away from it, Mr. H, meaning below, or far above it for us to have some form of direction. Is everybody clear? So let's wait on this one, Euro USD. Look at yesterday. We are above yesterday. Look at this. Yesterday's lows, we are still above it. This is very dangerous. This is very dangerous. This is dangerous. We have a point. Can you guys see here, guys? There's some higher lows here. Can you guys see this? Joining that zone there. Now that's the symmetrical, right? Here's the apex. Hold on, let me just get the apex running there. All right. This is really equal. You can see it. If I even need to draw it, I can see it already. No, wait. I'm mistaken. Let's make sure. Let's make sure. So here's the Southern Hemisphere. All right, here's the Southern Hemisphere. That's the mass there. Here's the Northern Hemisphere. Now, yes, the day. Clinton, this is freehand. You know, there's some guys, they are so powerful with this thing on Photoshop, eh? Yes. Yeah, I've seen some guys, a steady hand on Photoshop, you know. So, guys, can you see? It's basically equal here. Can you guys see that? Everybody with me? It's basically equal. Yes, I'm sure there's small differences. I mean, come on, we're not going to go into the maths now with that. I mean, that's like, you know, but you can judge it. Say, okay, it's more or less the same. All right. So this here is very dangerous at this moment in time. This is extremely dangerous here. So now we got to wait for it to break up or break down. We got to wait for the finish line. And then who else can tell me what can we do here? Who else, or who can tell me what else can we do to get some more technical detail here? Who can tell me? Thank you, V and Mika. Let's give them a round of applause. Uncle Sean, I saw the comment. I'm just going over it. All right. All right, beautiful. We're going to use the fib. We're going to use that high there. This high. There. Everybody with me? And I'm bringing it down. Boom, right there. Everybody with me? So here's the 50%. Can you see it? Can you see it? And what I'm going to do now, Mika, I'm going further because we like to go further, yes? There's my zone. Look at this. So if we break out of there, can you see inflates the probability for us to go further up? Can you see that, everybody? Everybody clear? Are we beneath the 50%? Yes or no? Are we beneath the 50%? Are we beneath? Yes, yes, we are beneath. This is the 50% mark. We are beneath. Is everybody clear? So we're beneath it right now. So what we would essentially need is the following. We would need this coming down, down, past the finish line. See that area there. That's what we would essentially, that's what we would like, ideally. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. We would like it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen. Remember, guys, we're not in our feelings here. All right, feelings doesn't make money here. Are we together, guys? Are we together? It might make money for you 1, 2, 3 times, but there's 7 other times out of 10. All right, everybody clear there? The placement points, those specific points there, I'm taking the high there, the high of that specific range. And this low here, not the 1.02. All right, not the 1.02. All right, because when you deal with the fib in the second context, or the second way I showed you how to use it, all right, then you cut the range in half. I'm just going to pause you quickly because the guys are asking me about the fib. So remember, I showed you we can do the fib and use it to track a retracement. Yes or no? That's the first way. Second way, you can take a fib to cut a range in half. All right, everybody. The third way is to look at the buying and selling pressure of a specific zone. That zone, all right, in context to the trend is the lower highs, the lower lows, the higher lows, and the higher highs. All right. So that is why I took the fib and I placed it at that area there, which is the resistance. All right. And I pulled it down to this lower low here because I'm dealing with the trend now. I'm dealing with the movement now. I'm not the range at 1.02. I'm dealing with this lower low here. So I want to see what is the buying and selling pressure at this lower low here. That's the reason why I used that placement point instead of this one here. Is everybody clear there, guys? Remember, what I showed you in that tool is to track what is happening right now. If price has to do this, if price breaks beneath 1.02, we're not dealing with the moment of buyers and sellers in that section. Now we're dealing with momentum now. Is everybody clear there, guys? Is everybody clear? All on YouTube, yes. All right. So guys, if it breaks or if a candle closes beneath 1.02100, Mika, now we're dealing with momentum and direction. We're not dealing with the pressure of buyers and sellers necessarily in a specific point. Mr. H, I think that makes sense. Cheryl, Uncle Philip, that makes sense. Yes? Mpo, Petro. So we're separating these things here so that you have better context. All right, everybody clear? Komalemo gets it. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome, Uncle Sean. All right, beautiful. And does anyone else also understand it better now? Does anyone else also understand it better? I'm not talking about the new guys today or yesterday. I'm talking about the guys that have been here, all right, that understand it a little bit better now. Because remember, repetition is building this thing. All right, repetition is building the idea. All right, so the guy, oh, beautiful, beautiful. All right, let's go on. We're tracking nicely, guys. NZD, USD. From a daily perspective, we are still at that zone. We're not getting involved. Tabo, it's better. Beautiful. Guys, we're still here. We're still here. There's nothing for us to do. There's nothing for us to do here yet. Can you do something? Yes. Click on new order and put in your 50 standard lots. Is everybody with me here? You can if you want, but all right. Is everybody with me? I'm so happy that everybody is getting this. Wonderful. I'm so happy, guys. Remember, this is price movement price structure. Can I say that again? Price movement versus price structure. You guys remember the difference, right? Let me quickly find out. You guys remember? I'm doing so many reminders here today. Clifton, a lot of reminders. All right. Are we together? Price movement versus price structure. Under what umbrella do you find price movement and price structure, ladies and gentlemen? Because this is the consequence of what? Under what umbrella? Price movement versus price structure, or price movement and price structure. Under what umbrella do you find this? What holding company, what holding idea, what holding thought do you find? Fani says momentum. Anyone else? Anyone else? You need to see what the guys are saying here, guys. Because I want to see, okay, it's type analysis. It's okay, so let's bring in price action now. Let's bring in price action now. All right, you get price momentum or price movement and pricing structure. All right, everybody. Now, what's very important about this, guys, they are like parents. Mr. H, listen to this. They are like parents that procreate. Price movement, price structure. Listen to this. And Fani is right. So let's give Fani a round of applause there, guys, with momentum. Let's give Fani a round of applause there. All right. Price movement and price structure. They procreate price action. Cheryl, do you see that? These two together, they procreate, they create price action. Everybody with me? In the world of momentum, there we go. In the world of momentum, price movement, all right? Price structure creates the action together in the world of momentum. All right, everybody? At this moment in time here, we don't need to do anything because the momentum is still at this zone between 0.61 and 0.60. We need the momentum to move, because when the momentum moves, Mr. H, listen to this. When the momentum moves, what is it creating? It's creating the price structure, continuing with the price movement that's giving you an action, the follow through. So we need the momentum to move. Does that make sense? Now, remember, guys, what makes Tesla move? Momentum. Or what made Tesla move? I'm tying all of this in, guys. All of these things, I'm tying it in. I'm not just saying this. So what makes Tesla? What made the banks? Remember, yes, it's money, but there's something that sparked people to put the money in there. Are we together? So if something happens in a big bank, let's say F&B, fraud, blah, 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 all right? All of those things that's been discovered messes with the momentum. Are we together, everybody? Messes with the momentum. When the momentum, the fundies, yes, there we go. So fundies now, what happens in terms of economics, politics, sociological factors, these things mess with the momentum. They create the combustion fire for the momentum to move. And when the momentum moves, now price, a structure moves again. The structure continues. The movement continues, and it creates that action that we then put entries into. Everybody clear there? These are crazy principles that is, guys, this is the core of your technicals here. All right, this is core. So that's why you have to study momentum. Everybody with me? You have to study momentum. All right, let's go on. AUD USD, doing a bit of a retracement there. This is a rising wedge. This is a rising wedge. You see that? A rising wedge normally breaks to the downside by pattern, by default, breaks to the downside. Is everybody clear? Rising wedge for a possible downside movement here. Look at this. The only challenge is, where did the momentum time frame stop? At 65949. Do you see how the momentum has been messed with now. Can you guys see that? Now there's a pause, Felix. There's a pause now. In where? The momentum. Price action is a secondary consequence of momentum. Is everybody with me? Your ability to move your finger, that's the secondary consequence of what's happening in the brain. Everybody with me here? So there's a source. There's a source. So the source can delay the movement. Is everybody with me? Paralysis. Price paralysis. I feel like a revelator here this morning. Mr. H, price paralysis. All right. So if the source, ladies and gentlemen, if the source is messed with, the momentum is not going to filter into other areas. So there's no price action. If there's no price action, is there any entries, Mr. H? Anton, Robert, Kaho, is there any entry? There's no price action. Nothing. Nothing. There's no entry. So to get an entry, there must be price action. So go deeper, go back, go behind the why. USD Swiss franc. Look at this sucker over here. Look at this guy here. We broke to the upside. All right. We had our symmetrical drawn in there. And we came down. Are we in the buying zone or selling zone? Talk to me. Buying zone or selling zone? Clinton says buy there. Anyone else agree? Mantuani says buy. Let's give Cheryl Siabonga a round of applause. We are between two worlds now. All right, everybody with me? We are between two worlds. The same that happened on this side is happening this side. We have now come, and price normally does that when it's beginning to buffer. Mika, with no man's land, we are just there. Only if price comes down to the zone here, there, we are now in the seller zone. The probability now increases for us to do what? For more sellers to come in. Right now, we are in the consolidating zone, no man's land, call it the elephant graveyard like the Lion King. There's nothing happening there, but there's something happening there. Are we together, Ash? How do you know that? There were hyenas in the elephant graveyard. Hyenas go where there's food. So if the elephant graveyard never had any food, then it would be a lie. We're together because hyenas are there. So we know we are in no man's land here. There is still something happening. What's happening? Time is happening. Volumes are being put in. Does that make sense, everybody? There is anticipation of fundamentals. They eat mostly scraps. Mostly, and I like the word that you used, or the term mostly, because some hyenas, some of them, they do hunt. Some of them actually do. Are we together? Many guys say they are only scavengers. No, mostly, but they can hunt. How do we know they can hunt? They have teeth and they've got 4 legs. And they can run and they have clans. Are we together? If they have 20 and they're going after one specific thing, they can win. Is everybody with me? It's a clan, see, a clan. It's a clan of my. Are we together? All right, I'm just joking. You can. All right. But the point is they can hunt. They have the tools to hunt. Is everybody? Let's push. So we wait here. We wait. Let's push on. I'm going to the other side now. To the books on the other side. USD CAD. Daily perspective. We've hit that support very hard. 1.32503. Resisted at 1.34398. If I go to a shorter time frame, let's go and see. Let's go and see where the specific zone is. That's all good, my friend. It's all good. Let's see where this one rejected. Aha, there. Do you see the reject right there? Boom. So which tells you this is a very strong zone. Guys, you can be more, you can be far more, what do you call it, accurate with this. You just use the foot. Ah, come on, what's happening with you? Sorry, guys. There we go. Look at the 50% here. Look at this. All right, so let's do it in this way. I'm highlighting the zone more accurately. Can you guys see this? So if I do this now, it hit that area. Look at the zone here. So literally that area there. And we've come down. We are now beneath. We are a bit bearish here. And if you look at the 12-hour, look at that zone there. And look at this, Cheryl. Look at the accuracy here. Can you see that area there? That zone? We rejected right there. Can you see that, Mr. H? We rejected right there, Felix. All right. So let's wait with this one. Let's see how it performed at 1.3828. All right. Yes. We can look at CAD-JPY, not a problem. All right, let's quickly just do NZD-JPY. Then we'll go to CAD. This one is moving up. A lot of look at it, a lot of candles here. Who sees what I'm seeing here? Who can tell me what am I actually seeing here? Anyone who can tell me what I'm actually seeing here? All right, but be more specific. All right, bounce what? Bounce what? Be more specific, be more detailed there. Anyone else? There's a lot of candles here. It's on resistance. Candles are becoming smaller. What does that from a pattern perspective reveal to us? Exhaustion. Yes. Yes, exhaustion. Exhaustion. All right. Look at that. At the resistance, and it's really struggling. It's really struggling. Let's look at the 12-hour. Right there at that block. Right there at that block there. Let me just show it to you. There. There. And this is a 12-hour. Look at the 4-hour. Can you see that right there at the top? Please be very careful with this one. Wouldn't engage at this moment. First, wait for time to give us some more data. Let's go to CAD-JPY. Hold on. V, what are you looking for here? What are you looking for? Just let me know real quickly. Sell. Petra's looking for a sell. Okay. So there's exhaustion and expectation in the change in price. So does exhaustion. Vio, just rephrase that. Along, all right, 105. Let's go and look. Yes, along, above 105. Yes, but where do you want to take it to? $107, $106. Pietra, yours is down there. 107. That's Pete, not Pietro, sorry. Apologies. All right, so there's two trades here. Here's the question. Oh, does the trade idea? Okay. All right. CAD JPY 105. Okay, stop loss. I'm just having a look real quick. Give me a second. CAD JPY. All right, so guys, what's very important about this specific trade, all right, is let's just note a few things from a momentum perspective, all right? Look at this area here. Firstly, look at the resistance here, all right? Rejecting at the top there, all right? Now we're going into the detail of that rejection, all right? Can you guys see the momentum here is down? Are we together? But then let's take this as an example and we say, this is a very tricky area to trade because we're seeing two angles, one down here, but we're still seeing some higher lows here. So this is very tricky to trade. All right, this is very tricky because there's two angles here. So essentially what you actually want to trade, or what this indicates, you're trying to trade in between these two angles. Everybody with me here? That's what you're trading. You're trading in between. See, guys, the whole point of technical analysis is for you to open up the picture to give you clarity. If your technical analysis does not give you clarity, then maybe you're not analyzing it technically. Are we together? So here, we are trading in between these two angles there and there. Now you can take the trade, yes, but no, you'll be trading inside there and there. All right, now here's the question. How do you trade inside here successfully? Now you have to go into a shorter time frame and you got to look at the detail. All right, so let's look at the detail here. Let's start with the daily. There's one box here. Let me just draw them. Hold on. Mr. H, you with me? This morning, right? Beautiful stuff, yeah? Look at this. Let's look at the boxes. The daily frame, start of a month. Start of a month. I said to you, start of a month, right? Where's price right now? Just look at the boxes. There, we are at this box here. So to get to Pitt's one there at 106, do you see what box that is? So essentially inside, what do you think should happen here? That area is very important. Pitt, if you're going to buy now, do you see the problem here? You are still underneath. Now, that does not mean that price won't go up, but the probability is higher that it could go up further if we break above there, because it's done it before in the past. Not only once, but twice as well. Do you see that, everybody? So it's not like it's just airy-fairy stuff. No, 106.139. If we break above there now, let's go into even a shorter time frame. 106.139 right there. So V's TP would make more sense from that area to that area in terms of pips. But remember, Pitt wants to take it from there to there, which is 66 pips. Now to Pitt, that might be good, Mika. But maybe to a V, he's like, I want to go there. So there's preference, you choose. But before we go to 107, V, you have to wait for Pitt to be done. Does that make sense? Are we together? Let me shock you with this. Look at this. Let me give you this. So here's a zone. All right. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, no, sorry. Let me zoom out a little bit so I can see. You see this area here? It's extremely valid. There it is there. See, same. Let's go back. See that, guys? This is a very important area here. And this box confirms it. So we would need fee for your trade to really be nice. That's brilliant. Do you see that? That is brilliant. Pete, for you, it's different. Those are two trades. Is everybody with me? Now let's. Was it a sell or was it a buy? Was it a sell or a buy? It was a buy. Now remember, you can get in now if you want. There's nothing wrong with that. What I did was I showed you some more probability here. Is everybody with me here, guys? Just give you a little bit more detail. So if you're going to get in now, you can, but based on what I've just shown you, now you can make a decision. Am I clear with that, guys? Remember, give the option so people can make a decision. So I'm detailing down a possible buy. Everybody with me here, guys? We got to wait. Let's see how it performs here. Very, let's say, like the support. Can you see the support here? Very nice support. There's a very big chance this might just pan out. All right. Let's wait for it. Let's go to the next one, guys. AUD Swiss franc. You're welcome. AUD Swiss franc. Oh, hold on. Can I just quickly do this one? Sorry, V. GBP yen. 160. 168 was reached. 168 was reached. Can you guys see this? Isn't this beautiful? This was last week. This was last week. You guys remember this? 166. Break above there. Who remembers this? This was last week. 166.299. I gave you this area of breakout here. 166.299. There's our TP 168, reached it successfully. Where did it reach? Look at those two boxes there. Can you see that, Clint? There's the two boxes. Left them there. Do you guys see why we leave things? Leave your analysis on so you can track yourself. This was spot on. Did it take some time? Yes. How long did it take? 1, 2, 3 days. But it got there. Is everybody with me? It got there. Maybe not 3 days. Sorry, like 2 and a quarter. Apologies for that. 2 and a quarter. Everybody with me here, guys? But it got there. So that's great. Let's wait and see how it performs at the box. Namfanello got out with good profits. Let's give Namfanello a round. Anyone else that took this trade from last week that saw it only broke out? Look at this. So this is Tuesday, Monday, last week, Friday. So last week, Friday, we broke out. Is there anyone that took the trade last week, Friday? Let's give a round of applause. This was last week's trade. All right. It came on Tuesday this week. You getting me? All right. Let's go to AUD Swiss franc. AUD Swiss franc. AUD Swiss franc. AUD Swiss franc. All right. AUD Swiss franc. Here we go. Let's quickly look at this. Uncle Sean, what would you like to do here? Is it would you like to sell? Would you like to long? What would you like to do here? Because I can already say to you quite confidently here, we at this box over here at this moment in time. All right. And what's very interesting is that there's a support there. Let me actually bring this down just a little bit further. Look at that. Look at the accuracy there. That zone and this zone over here. So let me quickly highlight those two boxes for you. There and there. Are we together? So if I go further in, Can you see this specific line? That's a very, very small candle there. Very, very small candle. Let me bring it down. Let me give you a green zone here, actually. Give me 1 second. We're talking entries now. All right. So let's look at the 1 hour. Look at this. Look at the accuracy there. It's right on that support, right on the support here. Let me just go back to my comments real quick. I'd like to trade from resistance down again. From which resistance, Uncle Sean? Let's be a bit more specific there. Which resistance? The 6361? 6361? Because I can give you a resistance here. That is the nearest box to us. Remember, this is the start of a day. What did I say to you? Start of a day is important. Start of a week, start of a month, start of a year. Those are important times. And price, it actually gravitates towards those openings and those closings. Because 1 month opening here, it will have a closing. And the month after that can gravitate towards the closing of that month if it pushes up. All right? So the start of a day, the start of a week, is everybody with me? The start of a month, the start of a year is very, very, very important. All right. Everybody clear? Sell 63132. Okay, so okay, but hold on. You want to sell it to where I've just put that green line, right? You want to sell it right now. If you sell it right now, that's only about 22 pips. All right, so guys, I'm going to go back to what I've always been saying to you. Different traders have different preferences. Some will want 20 pips. Others will want to compound that, all right, to 40. Others would want to compound that to 80. Others will compound it to 160. Different traders have different preferences and goals. So if Uncle Sean wants to go for 20 pips, all right, then that means different things. Maybe he has a nice balance. He might put in a lot of volumes there. Are we together? All right, versus someone that only has 500 Rand in. 20 pips is not going to cut it. Is everybody with me? All right. So remember, guys, whether it was a signal or not, remember, what do you do with the signal? What is the thing that you do with the signal? Whether you received it today, whether you saw it yesterday, whether you receive it in an hour from now, what do you do with the signal? You take it, go and analyze it, all right, and work out and say, listen, I agree or I disagree. That's the aim. Are we together? So whether you got it now or you got it, yes, it doesn't matter. It's not when you got it or it was at that specific price. If it was at a higher price, it's not there now. So you deal with the now. Where is that same signal now? Everything else is irrelevant. Are we together? And if it has moved down and it was a short, your TP is obviously compromised now. You're not going to get the same distance. Is everybody with me there, guys? That's going to be very, very key. All right. So it's 30. Someone's going to reward there for you. And then let's see if the other guys are interested to join Uncle Sean in this very, very tight trade, because 32 pips, you're going to have about a 16 pip stop loss there. It's going to be very extremely 0.63132. All right. So that's 25 pips there, which means your stop loss is even tighter. All right. Very tight. Right. To 139. Even tighter. 25. This is roughly around a 1-to-2 ratio here. Now, this is the challenge here. Sean, check this out. Here's my box. Look at my pivot point here. So today, this is today. I'm on an hour frame. This is Monday. Look at the start of Monday. Look at that wick there. I placed a support, which is a resistance in this case. Your stop loss is just beneath that resistance. Do you see how risky this is? If you take this trade, it's very risky. So remember, the point for me is not only to highlight the good and say to you guys, well done, you made profits, but I have to flag the risk as well at the same time. That's how we build trust, isn't it so? I mean, you believe in someone more. It's not just someone that gives you one side consistently. Let them flag both. You make a decision on what works for you. So if you're going to, I'm going to flag, be very careful here. It's a tight stop loss. Be very careful. 12, 11 pips. Let's go to a shorter time frame and see the movement. Look at this. Just looking at the shorter time frame, look at that resistance there. Checking, yes, sure. But there could still be some upside here. Shorter term now. Because if you look at it from a moment, the premise of momentum, look at the daily. Sorry, not the daily, the weekly. Just forget all of this. This is obviously a detail that we were discussing now. Look at this momentum down here. Look at the momentum down here. There's very nice cycles here trending down. I'm not only talking about this angle here. I'm not only talking about that angle. I'm also talking about this angle. So there's two angles here. If you look at it, it's trending down very nicely here. So if you're going to buy, please understand from a momentum perspective, all right, it's very, very nice. Absolutely. And I totally understand why you're looking for the sell. But remember, just because the sell on the momentum looks brilliant, on the shorter time frames, we could still first put. Is everybody clear? Price action. Are we together? That is basically price action, different cycles that price does. All right. So from the bottom, as an example here, so this would, for example, be pattern A. Then we push up to B. It's basically the cycles there. All right. Was it Vetna or was it Vuyo? Vuyo. It's the cycles. And I think I've mentioned this to you guys before. Cycles move like this. There's normally 3 to 5 cycles. All right. So what you'll see is price will be at a support, as an example. There's a resistance. Then price pushes up. There's cycle 1A. You see that? There's cycle 2. There's B. You see that? There's cycle 3. So I said between 3 and 5 cycles. All right. So if you look at the higher time frames, and this is in Stock Market College in the course material. All right. So please, if you have bought the course, all right, Vuyo, and you've not gone through the course material with these patterns, I strongly suggest you look at that, attend the classes as well. Because remember, you have paid for that specific content, which gives you access to repetition. And you've got lecturers in there as well that's going to go into more detail with you, all right, regarding these specific patterns. And so if you have bought it, please make sure of your investment, use it wisely. All right, but it's the cycles that price action moves in. All right, and there are detailed info. Yes, absolutely. All right. Is everybody 100 with me, guys? Can I just give everybody 14 seconds here? 14 seconds just to quickly grab everybody to center and make sure everybody's all right. Let's quickly see the response rate here. And then I quickly want to just close up. I want to go and do a quick recap on the ones that we looked at this morning, which is that NASI. I just wanted to track it one more time. Remember, guys, 4 p.m. I am back again with some of those US shares. We can see the NASDAQ is now pushing down below the 11530 there. Can you guys see this? So watch this very carefully. All right, from where price is now, I'm going to give you an, well, if you'd like to get in. Are you guys ready for this? If you're trading the NASDAQ, remember, risk is high, index is volatile. So this here, look at this. It's now 1053. A good entry here as well, but it's going to be risky, obviously, as you know, it's an index. Below 11489 for an earlier entry. That's at 12 p.m. Please write that down. All right, you can get it on YouTube there, Felix. Quick trade, search quick trade and videos. You'll find it. This one was streaming like the others. All right. Please write this down. 11489. That's an earlier entry. I dealt with that this morning. 11489. So at 12 p.m., watch it. We still take it to 11253. And then lastly, just so you do remember the correlating factors there, guys, watch out for this dollar here. Watch out for the dollar. All right. And then gold, we were tracking gold as well. All right. Gold is still at that resistance, and gold and the Nasdaq has been correlating together. So please be careful. Please be careful today. And don't forget, tomorrow, very volatile session. Pound and dollar releases there. Okay. Guys, that was the last comment there from my side. I just want to quickly answer. Yes, Siyabonga, real quick, Ash. I had a level on gold that I wanted to be broken. I want a daily candle to close beneath 1738. Take it to 6. Let's go to 1738. 1738 to 1721. Look, if you're going to take it to below 1738, this is the area. I have no issue with that. Absolutely. Remember, guys, what's important, the dollar must then obviously strengthen here. All right, the dollar must strengthen. All right, Siyabonga. Absolutely. You're welcome, Cheryl. You're welcome. Real good with you here this morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's been so good. Thanks for the good response rate. Thank you very much. It's appreciated. You can catch it on YouTube. All right, if you'd like to review and check out some of the notes made. Okay. And yes, I'll be back at 4 p.m. All right. Wonderful late afternoon. And have a good early afternoon.